What's up? Welcome to 20 at 10 with Nat. I'm jumping on a couple minutes early because I'm still figuring this thing out. My wardrobe today is provided by local artist Buenos Dias. Super comfy purple shirt. Not many shirts are purple. I appreciate that. Our special guest is now logging in. Point out this cool magazine is tiny and it is called Almost Real Things, and they talk about local artists. Alex, thanks for joining. I'm gonna intro this magazine really quick, and my friend, light glare, Alex Gilbert's in it this month, and he filmed my Tiny Desk concert. And he's in a band, and it's a cool magazine that features local art. So just thought I'd feature them tonight. Alex, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay. Alex is a local Central Texas musician, and I feel like you're in a different city every time I talk to you under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances. And I met Alex in September at Swerfa, same as my guest room last night. Swerfa was apparently a really great thing. I've met a lot of cool people there. And funny story is that I kept forgetting Alex's name and even called him the wrong name, I think.
Twice.
My bad.
I felt so special.
Well, little did he know I'm really bad with names. Anyways, but now we know each other and I know your name. And he has music up on Spotify that you can look up and listen to. Do you have a Bandcamp? I meant to ask you.
That'd be a question for Ted. I think he got all of that.
Okay. You have recently signed with a label, you've recently signed a record deal, and you have a record in the works, right?
I do. Yeah, it's a weird thing to hear and talk about. Yeah, TXM Records with Ty Phelps. They're giving me a shot to do my next record with them, with their support, and with all of their team. And just recently, I'm now with Ginger House, which is really exciting, with Pat Burns on that label and Jeff Plankenhorn.
Yeah. Well, I'm really happy for you. Like, so happy. Congrats.
Well,
and I'm excited to hear the new songs in the works. Okay, so, before I forget, setting the timer. I keep forgetting every night to set the timer, so I'm going to ask you a question and then give you a pop question from a board game that I have and like. And then you can ask me a question, and then I'm going to have you play a song at the end.
Okay.
Sound good?
Do you want to take a question from one of these folks that are scrolling? I can't really see.
Are there already questions?
I don't know. I was just asking.
Okay, Jenny Max, if you have that burning question, you might as well ask, because otherwise we're not going to get to it.
Don't let her ask.
You said no? Don't let her ask? Okay, never mind. You're banned. Okay.
Now she can totally ask the question. I'm just.
Okay. The question I want to ask, I think it's a simple question. If it goes really fast, I might ask you a second one.
Okay.
I'm curious what your dream lineup would be for a show. Like, if you could share a bill with any 1 to 3 other artists, who would you want to tour with or open for or have on your bill or whatever?
1 to 3 alive. Yeah. Right now, man, I would to share the stage with like Mary Gauthier.
All right. Excellent choice.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Walt Wilkins, of course, is one of my all-time heroes. And man, I don't know. If I had to like really shoot for it, Ben Harper, maybe.
Okay. And what would the setup be? Would this be like single person with guitar on a stage? Would it be a full band setup? Would it be like an intimate listening room? Would it be like stadium setting? What's your ideal?
Oh no, theaters for sure. someone like Ben Danaher just went on the road with Aaron Lewis, and they did a whole bunch of theaters and really cool venues. I think that would be really cool to do. And I know it kicked off his career. We had a discussion in Nashville about merch sales and being on a tour like that and what that kind of did for him. And I'm really excited for what he's got coming up in the next year or whenever this whole thing settles down. So I think that's a goal of mine, is to try to see to get to there with some really cool people and have fun.
Well, I hope you get there. That's an excellent lineup.
We still haven't shared a stage, have we?
We have not. We were going to, but South by got canceled.
Come on.
Oh, wait. Actually, it wasn't South by. It was the end of May. It could still happen.
Really?
I mean, it kind of depends on how this whole thing goes and if we're all responsible and this thing stops. Okay, I'm going to ask you, before I ask you a pop question, I'm going to ask you, just randomly, how many miles do you think you put on your truck last year?
Oh, just had a conversation with a friend of mine about that a few days ago. I bought it new so I had a bigger truck, a Silverado, and I went down to a 4-cylinder Colorado just because of music, and I have 68,000 miles in a year and 1 month.
You've only had it a year and 1 month?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
So.
Okay.
68,000 miles. Yeah, it's been a fun. Well, it was a fun 2019. This year's kind of been a little weird, but.
All right. Wow, that's impressive. Okay. You ready for a pop question?
Yes. Hit me.
They have been shuffled. They're just random. Okay. Have you ever been oblivious that you were on a date?
That I was on a date?
Yeah.
I can't say that I have. I mean,
all right.
I've been oblivious on dates and really messed them up.
Any funny story you want to share?
Oh, I'm real awkward, so I say things that just.
But is there a story you want to share, or should I ask a different question?
Ask me another one.
Okay. All right. Have you ever picked a lock?
I have.
Any good story with that? Why did you need to pick a lock?
Because when I was living at home, my parents would lock all the doors before I got there. So I had to.
Were you sneaking back in?
Not sneaking. I mean, I had just to figure out a way to get back into the house. And
what was this? College? High school?
Oh yeah, definitely college. I didn't sneak out in high school. I was a good boy.
All right. Okay.
Going home during the summers for undergrad and hanging out too late with friends that you haven't seen.
All right. Fair enough. Do you have a question for me?
I do.
Shoot.
What made you go electric? And how is it? Because I've been
weird.
going through Reverb, just searching for the perfect. I want to make the move.
Well, I think I did it because I was scared to, and sometimes the thing I'm scared to do is the thing I need to do.
Right.
And I wrote a lot of things, or started to write a lot of things last year that didn't catch me. Like, I wasn't just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in a rut. I need to get out. I need to do something really different. And then I also, an album that I've been really hooked on lately, is more of a indie rock type vibe. And I like a lot of different genres. I like a lot of different things. My gut instinct is to write really singer-songwriter acoustic. It's my comfort zone. And so I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been looking at old hollow bodies and trying to see if I can add some different tones, a nice wide open tremolo or something with some good tone, just kind of add a little bit more to the solo shows. I've been really blessed lately to have, like Miriam Brackney with me and
Yeah.
fiddle, and that works really great. So when I go back and I'm just by myself, I find the need that I got to add some seasoning to it. It's getting a little.
That's the other thing too. I'm like, I want a little more, and I feel like I have the possibility of it feeling like more if I have
some
the
water.
option of, yeah, there's options, there's pedals, there's different sounds you can create. I want to try and get into loop pedals, but I had a really bad loop pedal and it was really weird and difficult. It was really cheap too. And so I don't know. I'm taking it one step at a time, and I just definitely want to like add something interesting and out of my comfort zone into what I'm doing. And I feel like I want to write the next album on it and just see what happens. Cause like I have like a pop brain too. Like I like writing pop type songs, but that's hard on an acoustic guitar. I feel like I can hear it better on an electric. So
I'm looking forward to it. It's
we'll
beautiful.
We'll see what it is beautiful. We'll see what happens. Okay.
It was very nice.
Pop question. I'll answer a pop question now. I've forgotten to pick up a loved one. I haven't personally forgotten to pick up a loved one, but there was a time that my family forgot my baby sister, and she was like 3. Yeah, that is seared into my brain. Like my family
did that with my cousin Kristen at a.
It's terrifying.
Well, store they were closing and they left her in there.
So we, me and a couple of my siblings and my dad would go do something early at our church on Sunday mornings. And then we would come back to our house and pick up the rest of the family. And there's like 8 people in my family because I have 5 brothers and sisters. And so I'm the oldest. And the youngest at the time was like 2 or 3. And so my dad is like, all right, everybody get in the van, because we drove a 15-passenger white van.
Yes.
And so everyone gets up and like goes out to the van and gets in, and we like drive off. And apparently my baby sister like fell asleep on the floor or on the couch in the living room and just didn't hear the call and didn't make it out in time. So my parents drive off. We get out of the neighborhood and we get to the first light, and somebody says, "Hey, where's Victoria?" And my parents are like, "What?" And we turn around, we go back to the neighbor, like we get back, we're like, everyone's like on edge, like, oh my gosh, we just left Victoria. And I will never forget, we pulled into the driveway and we're like, it's behind our house. So we're like going past the house and we come right past the corner of the house and you can see the back door and it's just standing ajar. Like the door is just open. And like, as like protective older sister, I was like, oh my gosh. And we run inside and we cannot find her. Like she's not in the house. And like I don't know that we actually called the cops because we ended up finding her, but like we were about to call the cops. Like she was gone. And what had happened was like, fortunately, like my dad and brothers had like walked up one street, a couple of us had walked up a different street, and we didn't find her. And what had happened was when we drove out, my sister must have woken up and she's like, oh no, they left me. And she like ran out to the driveway and she was like, well, I'll just go to church. And so she started walking.
Repeat how old she was.
3 or 4. Like old enough to know the first couple of turns, you know? But like, and so a neighbor saw her walking. He was like, hey, little girl, where are you going? And she was like, I'm just going to church or going to find my family or whatever she said. And so he took her and was like, all right, we need to find your family.
Oh, my God.
So we found her and she's fine. But that was terrifying. Like, just to like drive into the driveway and look over and the door be ajar and to not find her anywhere. And I was always concerned about her because she was a preemie and she was always smaller than everybody else and she was super cute. And I was always just like super protective and was like, somebody's gonna kill her. I don't know. Anyways. But she's alive and she's fine and she's awesome.
That's a good
answer
to that question.
No, I've never left a loved one yet, but I remember the one time we did. Okay. Well, we're actually like kind of ahead of schedule. Is there anything else you want to talk about? We probably have like 2 minutes before you play your
from
song.
the gallery.
Oh yeah. I'm looking. This is where I'm like still learning how to do Instagram Live. Jenny never asked her question, by the way. What a tease. All right. Any other questions? Nope. No questions. Okay, let me think if I have a question for you. If you could play on any stage in anywhere in the world, where would you play? I know that's a big question. It's also fine if that stage is in Texas. Just like there's no limits on it.
Yeah.
It can be big or small.
I'm so in love with what we have around here that, man, I really feel fortunate to be able to play a lot of these different places. But I think just, I think of what's next career-wise, and I think I'm really shooting for, stuff at the Heights Theater or, Kessler, getting to meet the folks at Bugle Boy, rooms that a lot of my heroes around the state play at. But I mean, of course, everybody wants to play like the Bowl in Hollywood or something cool.
Yeah. What's your favorite song to play? Somebody asked. Agape. Oh, my friend Allison asked.
My favorite song. I have there's a Susan Gibson cover that I do that I really like.
Called?
The Wood Wouldn't Burn.
Okay.
It's one of hers. That's one of my favorite covers to do. Favorite one of mine is the last one that I wrote, or the one that I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, stuff from.
Which is?
It's a song that I co-wrote with Brian Douglas Phillips.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about. Yeah, he invited me to come over to his house. We talked a little bit about co-writing, and I went over and we knocked this one out in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we had a song. And it's something that I've been really excited to share. I think it's going to be a single on the next record. I hope I do it justice.
Wait, what's it called? Does it have a name?
Not really. It's Only Got Myself to Blame is the main theme. I don't know if it'll be called that. I don't know if we ever landed on a title, or if, I don't know, he may have some tweaks he wants to make to it, but I've just been kind of doing it my way for a little while, playing it out.
Is it going to be on the next record, or is it the record after?
This next one, I think. I did a little pre-production work on it, and I wanted to schedule again with Brian to just go in there and show him the direction that I went and see if he was cool with it as a co-writer. And yeah, it's one of my favorites. I hope it really does make it. So.
Okay, well, I want to hear it. Okay, what song are you going to play for us tonight?
I can play that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if we're going to talk about it, then just be like, you
can play whatever you want. I'm here for it.
You want to just jump into it? Do you have you going to play something as well?
Nope. We only have time for one song, so you're going to play. Okay.
So, Only Got Myself to Blame. Only got myself to blame. Like I'm begging back out on the street again. Like a drowning man who just keeps swimming toward the wave. Hoping that the winds are gonna change. Only got myself to blame. Stuck out in the desert, praying for a little rain. Serving 9 to 9 to life, still just counting down the days. Only got myself to blame. I swore I wouldn't let her in, wouldn't go down that road again. I swore I wouldn't drop the guard around my heart, but the walls are crumbling. And I know better, 'cause it always ends the same. Only got myself to blame. Only got myself to blame. She came in spinning out of control like a hurricane. I let her pick me up and just carry me away. She made a mess of everything. Swore I wouldn't let her in, wouldn't go down that road again. I swore I wouldn't drop the guard around my heart, but the walls are crumbling. And I know better, 'cause it always ends the same. Yeah, and I know better, 'cause it always ends the same. You know that I have been here before, and you know that I'll be back for more. I never learned to learn from my mistakes. I swore I wouldn't let her in, wouldn't go down that road again. I swore I wouldn't drop the guard around my heart, but the walls are crumbling. And I know better, 'cause it always ends the same. Yeah, and I know better, 'cause it always ends the same. Only got myself to blame. Only got myself to blame.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for playing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for doing all of this. I've been really bad. I've stayed off of social media and I've just tried not to see it all, but there's been a lot of really good music that I've been catching up with, and thank you for taking the time and inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully this all chills out so we can get together and write again. I really like our song that we did.
Yes, I'm down. I think remote stuff might work too, though. Just keep it in mind. Cool. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me and Alex tonight. I think that's it. I don't have any. Do you have anything else to say, Alex? Is there like a Venmo you want to, or a website or a thing you want to talk about?
No. Save your money. When they let us all back out, go support your bartenders and servers and small business. I'll be okay. Don't worry about me, but hopefully we'll see everybody soon somewhere in Austin or in the Hill Country. So.
Cool. Stay safe. Wash your hands. We'll see you soon.